Good evening. My mother never let me go to the pictures in the summer. She saw it as an offence against nature to sit in a darkened room on a sunny day. But nowadays mothers have changed and so have summers. They've become a sort of intermittent monsoon. So all the big family films come out around now. And in this, the last programme of the series, we'll be looking at the new Bond, Octopussy, Superman 3 and Psycho 2 and chatting to Anthony Perkins about it. To begin with, the third of George Lucas's Star Wars films, which is already open, The Return of the Jedi. Unlike Sting 2, which I reviewed last week, this does contain all the old familiar faces in all the old familiar roles. Harrison Ford is the buccaneer pilot, Han Solo. Carrie Fisher plays the prim but sometimes lethal Princess Leia. And Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker, the last of the Jedi, those space-age knights with a medieval sense of honour. And even more animated, those two robots, or droids as they're known, the squeaky R2-D2, still in need of a good oiling, and the cowardly and camp C-3PO, wonderfully endowed with personality by Anthony Daniels.
In Return of the Jedi, in my opinion at least, George has come up with the most startling group of new characters, various things that you've never met before. And what was exciting for me is that not only do they look good on film, because I've obviously seen them, but they're kind of fun to act with, even if they're, 20 feet high and kind of make funny noises. It is like working with the real thing, because they do exist, actually, in the studio.
Some of the shots in Jedi might take a week or so, maybe some of them even longer in the works. Not that we'd be working on it every moment for a week or so, but by the time you're through shooting it, you may have spent weeks or on and off for even a couple of months on something. Other ones we can get done in an afternoon. It really depends on how complex the shot is and what technique is necessary to do it. Some of the shots in the Rancor K-pit were done 2 or 3 a day of the Rancor creature, whereas other shots of some of the walking machines might take 2 days, 3 days to shoot one machine.
George Lucas always likes to give, everyone a hard time, but the thing he can do with R2 and 3PO is to really beat them up and sort of pull them apart, as happened to 3PO. And so they, again, have a pretty rough ride in this one. And, of course, 3PO hates the whole thing because, again, he's just not comfortable. The environments they go to are either sandy or there's stuff on the floor and it's cold or it's raining. Or he has a very bad time. And, again, of course, they're up against some really mean characters.
R2-D2 and C-3PO then enter a cavernous underworld, peopled by creatures more exotic and bizarre than Alice ever encountered in her Wonderland. They're looking for Han Solo, who's been turned into a war ornament by the most menacing creature yet in a Star Wars film, Jabba the Hutt. Jabba has the lugubrious face of Frank Cannon, the detective, but the body of a melted chocolate ice cream and weighs about 200 stone. He sits there being generally nasty to everybody, occasionally guzzling live frogs. A hint here for those of us on diets: stay off the live frogs. The rest of Jabba's chums, so weird that they're creations beyond the realms of hallucination, a great triumph here for designers Phil Tippett and Stuart Freeborn, soon have the famous three in captivity, and their outlook seems bleak. "How are we doing?" asks Han. "Same as always," replies Luke. "Oh," says Han, "that bad?" Actually, quite a lot of the action takes place on Earth, among the giant redwood trees of North California. When they go down in these woods, the famous three are in for a big surprise. They're largely populated by chattering teddy bears. Fortunately, they prove friendly. But it's no picnic as the forces of Darth Vader whiz through the trees on aerial motorbikes and attempt to eliminate them all as they make for the vital Earth station. It's all splendid action, maintaining the technical wizardry of Star Wars, nobody minding the geometry or the geography of any battle scene in which people pop up in every direction. Strangely, the philosophy of the Force and the nobility of the Jedi, which played such a strong motivation in the first picture, rather get in the way here, creating some clogging moments of exposition. Still, George Lucas has usurped the role of a conjurer at a children's party with these films, and his English director, Richard Marquand, does him proud.